Here is what's coming up in today's Frontline compilation. A fiber optic FPV stalks a pickup loaded with infantry on a dirt road. The truck swerves as if they know it is there. What happens before the doors open? Recon footage pairs with gun tape from a ground robot mounting a machine gun near Sumy. Remote fire support from a basement doorway. Is this the new normal for holding a line? An FPV spots two Ukrainian soldiers hauling supplies at the rear of a small movement. The camera dips and fixes on the heavier rucksack. What happens before they split? A Strela 10 launches at a Ukrainian spotter drone. The missile streaks past by meters. When a launcher's hide is blown, what follows? This is real footage, no effects, just raw moments from the battlefield. Subscribe to stay updated on every Frontline report and stick around to see it all unfold. Let's get into it. Footage released through Russian Ministry of Defense channels shows the SPG-2S-44 Hyacinth K in use near Pokrovsk. According to the Ministry of Defense, the system hit a forward drone control station used by Ukrainian forces. The vehicle uses an open artillery mount without a turret, prioritizing mobility over heavy armor. It features an automated fire control system for navigation, firing data, positioning, and communications, enabling setup and withdrawal in roughly 2 to 3 minutes. Infrared footage released by the Russian Rubicon drone unit shows a Lancet loitering munition attacking a Ukrainian AS-90. The howitzer appears to have been disabled earlier or worn down from field use. It is being towed toward a warehouse, likely for repairs, when the strike occurs. The video tracks the loitering munition as it closes on the towed system and impacts. After impact, the vehicle catches fire, with thick smoke coming out of it as the footage ends. Reconnaissance drone footage shows a Ukrainian soldier ambushing two Russians. Before the contact, the two are convinced by the Ukrainian that he is one of them. The source suggests this is possible because many Russian citizens speak with a Ukrainian accent. The sequence ends with the ambush carried out at close range. He fires in quick succession, hitting both Russians. They drop on the spot and both die there. Footage released by Russian sources shows what appears to be a T-62MV, using a ramp to extend the range of its main gun. The setup lets crews fire at higher elevation and employ the gun like artillery. The method is used to reach targets beyond normal turret limits. This footage, reportedly recorded near Velika Novosilka, shows a Ukrainian Leopard 1A5 tank targeting a Russian-held building with indirect fire. The unit is identified as the 1st Tank Battalion of the 5th Heavy Mechanized Brigade. The tank's 105mm gun fires 2 rounds. After the attack, dust and debris are visible around the area. The status of the Russians inside the building is unclear, possibly dead or severely injured. An overhead drone observes the effects before the vehicle relocates. Infrared footage from Russian sources shows 2 FPV drones striking a Ukrainian-operated Humvee. The video follows the vehicle as it moves and then captures hits from opposite directions, one from the rear and one from the front, landing almost at the same time. The Humvee is not heavily protected against blasts, and a crew member possibly died from the attacks, but the release does not confirm it. The release offers no timestamp or location. Footage from a Russian fiber optic FPV shows a strike against a Ukrainian pickup loaded with soldiers. The device impacts the vehicle before the squad can spread out and take cover. Based on the hit, some passengers likely suffered severe injuries and some may have died. Footage shows a Russian Strela 10 surface-to-air system attempting to shoot down a Ukrainian observation drone. The missile passes very close, but misses. The air defense system's position is then passed to a Ukrainian loitering munition team. A kamikaze drone is launched and is seen striking the vehicle. Some troops riding on the vehicle appear to be affected, but the video does not confirm the extent of injuries. FPV drone footage released by Russian sources shows 2 Ukrainian infantrymen manually moving supplies. The pilot chooses to target the soldier carrying the most equipment. The drone dives on that man and detonates. The pair are shown on the ground. The source presents the aftermath as fatal for both troops. Reconnaissance drone footage combined with gun tape from a ground-based attack drone shows an attack on a Russian position in the Sumy region. The ground robot fires a mounted machine gun while the aerial drone provides overwatch. The release frames this as a fully operational Ukrainian ground attack platform. The message suggests support by fireposts can be run remotely, away from exposed positions. Footage shows 4 kamikaze drone strikes carried out by the Ukrainian 5th Assault Brigade against Russian troops and fortifications near Kramatorsk. In the first strike, 3 Russians are seen entering the position, and the drone hits moments later. The video alternates between approach shots and impact points, as each drone dives on a position and detonates. After each blast, a cloud of dust and rubble is visible around the site. Targets include personnel in cover and fieldworks, and the editing keeps attention on the run-ins and explosions. GoPro and drone footage from the 1st Presidential Brigade of Ukraine shows what appears to be a BMP-1TS advancing under Russian small arms fire near Kolesnikivka in the Kharkiv region. The vehicle keeps moving and firing its gun as it pushes forward, using its own suppressive fire to cover the approach. An overhead reconnaissance drone stays with the vehicle and appears to help the crew place rounds on target. BMP still in motion after laying down repeated bursts. Drone footage reportedly shows a Russian LMUR hitting what is described as a UAV control point of the 39th Brigade near Tokarivka, Kherson. The sequence tracks the weapon as it closes and impacts the site. The video centers on the strike itself, with a brief lead-in and then the hit. After the strike, thick black smoke is visible over the site. Footage from the vicinity of Torets shows a Russian soldier approach Ukrainian lines and get pinned down. He takes cover in brush as hovering drones look for him. He survives attempts to dislodge him, then decides to walk on. Despite the drone pressure, he is dropped by small arms fire. Something on his kit ignites, flames catch, and he begins to burn. He writhes on the ground, flames visible on his gear. A large Russian assault near Stepanivka, Donetsk, is shown being broken up by Ukrainian defenders. Multiple drone strikes hit troops, leaving many soldiers dead or injured. Several vehicles are destroyed, and troops dismounting from damaged vehicles are targeted by subsequent strikes. The sequence presents repeated losses during the assault, and then the dispersal of those who tried to continue on foot. The video follows the collapse of the attack, with many vehicles burning alongside troops. After each hit, smoke and dust rise over the area. happens in the Sumy region. The source states that a FAB munition was used for the strike. The clip tracks the approach and the detonation. The sequence holds on the strike, hitting the area and shows the blast. After the strike, fires are visible in the positions, and heavy dark smoke covers the area. The air is filled with smoke, and the footage ends with buildings still burning. No additional details about the unit, timing, or follow-on effects are provided with the video. Reconnaissance drone footage from Ukrainian sources captures a strike on Russian positions using an extended-range joint direct attack munition. The footage keeps focus on the target area and the moment of impact, presenting the use of a standoff glide kit against the position. After the hit, dark smoke climbs over the site and a haze of dust and fragments hangs in the air before the cut. A series of drone and airstrikes against Russian targets of opportunity near Tyotkino in the Kursk region is shown. The footage was published by the Ukrainian 33rd Assault Regiment. It opens with strikes on Russian vehicles. Several catch fire and smoke rises over the area. Most of the sequence features loitering munitions and other drone strikes. With several air-delivered hits, the clip then shows attacks on a Russian position, with dust in the air and building fragments visible after the blasts. The release suggests that the final strikes were likely carried out with the French-made AASM hammer. An attempted Russian assault stalls and ends under Ukrainian fire. Two heavily modified turtle tanks move along a road, encounter mines and drones, and are stopped. As the vehicles are immobilized, troops attempt to flee and are hunted by drones. The description points to repeated failures, driven by poor coordination and the absence of combined arms effects. The push fades with vehicles and riders disabled or abandoned, the attack ending with a bang and a whimper. Footage purportedly shows a Russian soldier of the 60th Motorized Rifle Brigade using a TM-62 anti-tank mine as a field expedient charge against a Ukrainian bunker. He places the rigged mine against the wall, then retreats along the connecting trench to take cover. The clip offers no bodies or direct evidence of fighting in the approach trench. What appears to be a heavily modified BMP-1 advances without support and fails to reach Ukrainian lines. An FPV drone strikes and disables the vehicle. A second drone follows up and finishes the target while it sits static. After the second hit, the BMP catches fire, fragments lift into the air, and a heavy dark plume spreads across the area. The sequence ends with the BMP out of action. Footage from Donetsk shows the Russian 155th Marine Brigade in an awards formation. The formation is struck by HIMARS and significant casualties are reported. At least 60 men are said to be killed, and the brigade commander is reported wounded. Reconnaissance footage released by Russian sources shows a Lancet loitering munition slamming into an active grab, striking the cap. The vehicle jolts and keeps rolling for a moment. Seconds later, one Ukrainian soldier bails from the still-moving vehicle. The camera holds as another soldier jumps out and both sprint away from the vehicle. Drone footage released by the 30th Mechanized Brigade shows an assault on Russian positions. Ukrainian soldiers dismount from a tank and move toward the positions, firing as they advance. The push is supported by a single tank, an infantry fighting vehicle, and drones rigged to drop munitions. Drone-dropped munitions strike trenches and injure soldiers. One soldier is hit by a drone and then surrenders. The footage shows deaths and severe injuries among the Russian troops. A pair of Ukrainian kamikaze drones deliver finishing blows to a disabled Russian BMP-1. The first loitering munition takes a 360-degree lap around the IFV, then dives in for the strike. The second bomb drone settles over an open hatch and detonates, pushing its blast into the vehicle. A dark plume billows up, and a grey haze lingers over the site. That's today's raw footage. No filters, no fluff. This is M6 Archive, always first on the front lines. Subscribe and share if you want more.